Your morning isn't slow. It's just starting wrong. Most people wake up and immediately feel behind. The alarm goes off, and before your feet even touch the floor, your mind is already running through everything you didn't finish yesterday. That's not an accident. That's what an unstructured morning does to the human brain. It hands you the day's anxiety before you've had a single breath of intention. In Japan, millions of people begin their mornings in a completely different mental state. Not because they have more time, not because their lives are simpler, but because they've built 7 small habits that change the entire emotional texture of the day. And the first one starts before you even open your eyes. Stay with me through number 4, because that one will genuinely surprise you. Habit number 1. Don't reach for your phone. This sounds simple. You've probably heard it before. But here's what you haven't heard. In Japan, there's a concept called Ichigo Ichie. It means one time, one meeting. The idea is that every single moment is unrepeatable. This morning, right now, will never exist again. And the first thing most Americans do is hand that irreplaceable moment to a screen full of other people's urgency. Emails, news, social notifications. Within 30 seconds of waking, your nervous system is already processing external demands. You don't even know why you feel anxious by 8 in the morning. Think about that. Your day hasn't started, and you're already reacting to someone else's agenda. Japanese mornings often begin in silence, physical stillness. Eyes open, but mind present. Just for a few minutes. That's Ichigo Ichie in practice. Honor the moment before you donate it. Habit number 2 is something almost nobody in the West does anymore, and it takes less than 3 minutes. Habit number 2. Make your bed, completely, properly, not a quick toss of the blanket. In Japan, bedding is often aired, folded, and stored with care. Futons get laid in the sun when possible. Sheets get smoothed. There's a philosophy behind this called shitsuke, which roughly means discipline instilled through habit, through doing something the right way until it becomes second nature. Making your bed isn't about impressing anyone. It's about sending yourself a signal, a small, quiet signal that says the night is done and the day has been acknowledged. Slow down here. Let this land. That one completed act, the very first task of the day, tells your brain you are capable of finishing what you start. Psychologists have studied this. People who make their beds consistently report higher productivity and lower stress throughout the day. Japan understood this without needing the study. Now habit number 3 moves us into the kitchen. And this one might change how you think about breakfast entirely. Habit number 3. Eat something warm and slow. Look at the average American breakfast. Coffee grabbed while standing at the counter, a bar eaten in the car, maybe nothing at all. The first meal of the day treated like an inconvenience. In Japan, even a modest breakfast is treated with a kind of quiet ceremony. A bowl of miso soup, warm rice, maybe pickled vegetables. It's not elaborate, but it's deliberate. There's a concept called omotenashi, usually translated as hospitality, but at its core it means tending to something with full attention. And Japanese people apply it to themselves in the morning. You deserve the same care you'd give a guest. Warm food in the morning activates the parasympathetic nervous system. It tells your body the day is safe. You're not running. You're not in danger. You have time. That shift in your body chemistry changes everything about how you handle the first few hours of work. Habit number 4 is the one I promised, and it's not about what you do. It's about where you do it. Habit number 4. Cross the threshold with intention. In Japan, the entryway of a home is called the genkan. It's not just a foyer. It's a physical and psychological boundary between two worlds. The outside world, with all its noise and pressure and demands, and the inside world, which belongs to you. When Japanese people leave for the day, they pause at the genkan. Shoes come off inside. Outside shoes go on. There's a pause, sometimes just a breath, at that line. It marks a transition, a conscious acknowledgement that you are now stepping into the day. Most Americans leave home like they're fleeing a fire. Keys grabbed, door left swinging, already texting. The transition never happens. So the stress of home and the stress of work bleed together into one long, undifferentiated cloud of tension. You never actually leave. And you never fully arrive anywhere. That's exhausting. Think about that. You're carrying two worlds simultaneously, because you never gave yourself a moment to set one down. What happens in this pause is neurologically significant, though most people never think about it in these terms. Your brain is making a shift from one mode of consciousness to another. The amygdala, which processes threat and stress, begins to recalibrate. The prefrontal cortex, which handles executive function and intention, comes more fully online. You're not just physically transitioning from one place to another, you're giving your entire nervous system permission to reset. In Japan, this threshold moment is treated as sacred because it is sacred. It's the moment that determines whether you enter your day as a passenger or as the author of your own experience. Without it, you drift. With it, you choose. That distinction compounds across every hour you're awake. Japanese people understood this intuitively. They built it into their homes, their language, their daily rituals. The Genkan isn't just architecture, it's a technology for consciousness. It's a way of saying to yourself, with your body, with your physical location, with your breath, I am here now. I choose what comes next. Now, habit 5 moves us somewhere most people don't expect. It's not a new routine. It's actually the removal of one. Habit number 5. Stop scheduling the first hour. Here's something that surprises people about Japanese morning culture. The hour after waking is often left structurally loose, not empty in an undisciplined way. Loose in the way a good musician leaves space in a piece of music. In Japanese aesthetics, this is called ma, purposeful empty space, the silence between notes that gives the notes their meaning. Most high-achieving Americans fill every minute of the morning with optimized routines. Cold plunge, workout, journaling, affirmations. It becomes another performance, another thing to execute, another thing to fail at on the days when life doesn't cooperate. Ma asks a different question. What happens in the space between things? Turns out, quite a lot. The brain consolidates overnight learning during quiet waking time. Creative insight spikes in the first hour, when the prefrontal cortex is still in a semi-relaxed state. Japan's relationship with productive stillness isn't passive, it's strategic. Habit number 6 is one most Westerners will initially resist, and then they'll understand why it changes everything. Habit number 6. Go outside before you look at a screen. In Japan, the concept of forest bathing, Shinrin-yoku, has been part of the National Health Framework since 1982. But even people who don't take formal forest walks often step outside first thing. A walk to the konbini, the corner store, a few minutes in a small garden, standing on a balcony with tea, looking at the street below. The point is light and air before artificial stimulation. Natural morning light tells your circadian rhythm exactly what time it is. It sets your cortisol peak at the right moment in the day. It makes you sharper in the morning and sleepier at night. Screen light does the opposite. It confuses the system, tells your brain the day is beginning when it isn't, or that it's still going when it should stop. Japanese morning routines naturally protect this biological window because outdoor movement is woven into daily life, not treated as exercise to schedule. It's just what you do. When the day starts, you step outside. You breathe air that isn't from your bedroom. You remind your body what the world feels like. Now we're getting to the last habit, and this is the one people remember longest after the video ends. Habit number 7. End the morning by setting one clear intention. In Japan, there is a practice embedded in many traditional disciplines, from tea ceremony to martial arts, of stating clearly what you are about to do before you do it. Not a to-do list, not a productivity goal, one sentence, one clear statement of purpose for the day. It's related to the Kaizen philosophy, the idea of continuous incremental improvement, one small step at a time. But it's also connected to something deeper, wabi-sabi, the acceptance that nothing is perfect, that incompleteness is part of beauty. Setting one intention means releasing the fantasy that you'll accomplish everything. Instead, you identify the one thing that, if it happened, would make the day feel meaningful. Just one. And you say it clearly, out loud if you can, before you leave your home. Not a wish, a direction. Japanese craftspeople do this before they begin work. Athletes do this before competition. Teachers do this before class. It focuses the nervous system. It gives the day a spine. Here's what's interesting about all 7 of these habits. None of them require more time. That's the thing most people miss. They look at a morning routine and assume it means adding more, waking up earlier, doing more, optimizing harder. Japanese morning philosophy doesn't work that way. These habits are mostly about removing friction and removing noise. Less phone in the first minutes, less rushing through the threshold, less artificial light before natural light, less overscheduling of sacred quiet time. You aren't building a more complex morning. You're clearing one, and clearing is the key word. Because the reason most mornings feel heavy is not lack of structure, it's excess. Too many inputs hitting an unprepared nervous system. Too many decisions forced before your brain has fully woken. too many transitions missed because you were already somewhere else in your head. Japan's approach says, the morning belongs to you first. The world gets the rest of your day. But those first hours, the quality of them, determines how you meet everything that comes after. Think about that, not as a motivational idea, as a plain fact about how human biology works. There's something else worth noting about why these 7 habits work together as a system, rather than as isolated practices. Each one builds on the previous. By not reaching for your phone, you protect the mental clarity needed to fully attend to making your bed. By making your bed, you establish a sense of completion that carries into the breakfast hour. By eating slowly, you give your body the signal to remain calm as you move through the Genkan. By pausing at the threshold, you've already begun the mental shift that allows you to use unscheduled time creatively. By protecting Ma, that empty space, you arrive at the moment of going outside with fewer racing thoughts. By standing in natural light, your mind is more settled and clearer when you come back inside to set your intention. By setting an intention, you've actually anchored the entire morning's work. The habits aren't separate, they're sequential, they're building blocks. Miss one and you can still benefit from the others, but do them all in order for a week and you'll notice something that no single habit could produce alone. The entire quality of your consciousness shifts. There's a word in Japanese, the word kehai. It means the subtle, almost imperceptible atmosphere of a person or a place, the feeling of a room before you've consciously registered anything. Japanese people are extraordinarily attentive to kehai. The feeling of a morning built with care is different from the feeling of a morning that was survived. And that difference, invisible to anyone watching you, is felt completely by you, all day long. Your morning has a kehai. Right now it might feel rushed, reactive, like something that happened to you instead of something you chose. These 7 habits don't fix everything. Be honest, nothing fixes everything. But they change the kehai. They change the ambient emotional tone of how your day begins. And over time, that changes everything downstream. The science agrees, even if it uses different language. Cortisol patterns set in the morning affect cognitive performance through midday. Transition rituals reduce what researchers call decision fatigue in the early hours. Natural light exposure in the first hour regulates sleep quality that night. Warm food reduces baseline anxiety. Unstructured time in the morning improves creative output later. Japan didn't read these studies first. Japan arrived at the same conclusions through centuries of paying close attention to what actually makes a human life feel livable. That's not mysticism. That's a long, careful experiment. So try one. Just one of these 7. Not all of them at once. That's not Kaizen. Kaizen is the smallest possible next step. Pick the one that already pulled at you. Maybe it was the phone. Maybe it was the threshold pause. Maybe it was Ma, that unscheduled hour that your calendar has been trying to steal from you for years. Start there. Do it for 1 week. Not because it will transform your life in 7 days, but because you deserve one morning that feels like it belongs to you before you hand the rest of it over. And here's the thing about Ichigo Ichie. That moment won't come back. Tomorrow morning is not the same morning as today. Every morning is genuinely unrepeatable, not as a poetic idea, but as a simple fact of time. The Japanese understanding of this isn't melancholy. It's the opposite. It's a reason to pay attention. A reason to make this one, specific, never again morning feel like something that was chosen, rather than something that just happened while you were looking at your phone. That's the shift. Not a new schedule, not a better alarm clock, just attention, intention, and the quiet decision that your day begins with you.